Hello there, I'm Ethan, the head of support at Opentrons. This is the 5th video in a series we are calling From Box to Protocol. Let's get started with a deck calibration on the OT-2. I do not need much for the deck calibration. I only need the Opentrons tip racks, my computer, and of course the OT-2. In the previous video, I already attached my pipettes. Before I can use the OT-2, I need to perform deck calibration. Deck calibration is an important part of the OT-2's positional calibration stack. It makes sure the OT-2 moves its pipettes in the correct location and gives the OT-2 a sense of direction. A bad deck calibration can cause problems like pipette being off position by a direction or a mount that changes depending on where it is on the deck. We have a few articles in our help center that explain deck calibration and all other calibrations in greater detail, so you can go there if you'd like to learn more. To initiate deck calibration, I go to the Devices tab and click on the OT-2 I want to perform the calibration on. I then go to the 3-dot menu, Robot Settings. So this Robot Settings page has all the information I need to know about the different calibrations on the OT-2. It says I am missing a deck calibration, which makes sense because this is a new robot. I will start deck calibration by pressing the Calibrate Deck button. The app will tell me what I need for the deck calibration. I will need the Opentrons tip racks, so we'll start deck calibration. I then need to place the tip racks in the correct slot, which is slot 8 on the deck. Making sure to take the top off. Next, I'll confirm placement and continue. So the OT-2 will now home, and then it will position itself so the backmost nozzle is above tip A1. On the screen, I have the ability to jog the pipette in the X, Y, and Z axis. I'll do that now so that the nozzle is centered in tip A1. The nozzle is now centered over tip A1. So I will now have the pipette pick up the tip. In the app, it asked me if the pipette did pick up the tip successfully. So I will select yes, and the pipette will move to slot 5. I will now jog the pipette so that the bottom of the tip is barely touching the deck. So the pipette is less than 0.1 millimeters from the deck. So I will remember this position, and the pipette will then move to the cross in slot 1. So the pipette is now in slot 1, and I need to position the pipette so that it is centered in the cross. And to do this, I will use the app and select the arrow keys. The tip is precisely centered in the cross in slot 1. So I will save this calibration, and then the pipette will move to slot 3. Previously, as in the last step, I now need to make sure that the tip is centered in the cross in this slot. The tip is precisely centered in the cross in slot 3. So I will save this calibration, and the pipette will move to the cross in slot 7. Just like the last steps, I need to jog the pipette so the tip is precisely centered in the cross. The tip is precisely centered in the cross in slot 7. I will save this calibration. A check mark will appear letting me know that the deck calibration is now complete. So I will click return tip to the tip rack and exit. And the robot will now home. This concludes our video on deck calibration. Thanks for checking out the 5th video in our From Box to Protocol series. Now that I have calibrated the OT-2's deck, I'm going to move on to calibrating the tip length and pipette offset calibration. Thank you for watching this video, and bye for now.